Good with y'all, man. It's your boy Henny Demore reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? So, hey, it's Hump Day, man. We're in smack dab in the middle of the week, man. I know a lot of y'all still got a little bit ways to go till we get to this long weekend, but hey, keep pushing. You know, made it through the day. You know, your boss ain't fired you yet. Your co-workers ain't made them slap the hell out you yet. So, hey, you know it's time for a liquor store run, man. So y'all come on in. We got whatever it takes to make you sin. We got gin, we got hen, we got eagle tears, cowboy readers. You know, we got everything you need to succeed. So y'all do what y'all need to do and come on in to the liquor store, man. So really, after yesterday, we had a real good show talking about the projections for the Dallas Cowboys 2023 offense. Right? We projected what Dak Prescott would do in this new offensive system based on previous patterns, his success rate with play action, things like that. We also projected, Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks and those guys. And it went real well, right? We had a real good show off of that. So we're going to do the other side of the ball today. We're going to talk about the 2023 defensive projections, using the same site, using the same kind of principles that we use to come to those other conclusions the last time, man. So I definitely think it'll be a good show today. So y'all tune on in. Hey, real quick, let me give y'all some shout outs, man. Hey, shout out to Tyler. I see you in the chat box, man. DJ Dog 31, salute to you. My boy Fish 82, showing love. What's up with you? HTM King of the Eagle Cap, Philly for man. You gotta stop playing with the church's money, landlord from Alabama. You playing with the church's money? Those are venomous lies and vicious slander that you're spewing out right now. Hey, Miss Regina Green, I see you. Thank you for coming in, showing love to the liquor store. Joe, my guy, what's up with you? Salute to you. Tapping all the way in from Italy. Joshua Fisher, what's up with you? I see you, my guy. Matt Leslie. All right, Stephen Harrison, you're present and accounted for. I see you. Double R, part of the Rich Gang. I see you. Salute to you. My boy Jameson Taylor, what's up with you? Michael Autry came in early with the Volcanoes, man. I see you, my boy. Desmond Ironman, a.k.a. Tony Stark. I see you. Right, so yeah, we're going to talk about this defensive unit, what they're expected to do this year, man. Damian Crow, what's up with you? King G, Cortavius, what's up, man? So y'all still going live later on with Turpin. Man, hey, we got some other stuff in the works. That sort of fell through. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Matter of fact, I really forgot, that it was Wednesday. But yeah, man, like that fell through. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, we got some more stuff planned for y'all down the line. Got some more special stuff planned for y'all, so don't even trip. We're going to spin the block. He said, I am Iron Man. Tony Snow. Man, you Pimp C, man. Your name Tony Snow, man. You Pimp C, my boy. Yeah, you Pimp C. So yeah, but we got some other stuff planned, man. Like if there's other stuff come down the pipeline, I think it'll be a little bit better. I'm not saying that the Devontae Turpin interview would have been great, but we got some other stuff coming down the pipeline that should be just as good, man. No lie. Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. Like real talk, y'all help us keep going, man. Y'all who we do it for, so we do appreciate y'all, man. But real quick, man, before we jump right into the content, because I got everything lined out, I'm really itching to get into it. We're talking about numbers, so we're in my wheelhouse, we're in my comfort zone. So yeah, man. But before we do that, man, I always do this like it's a commercial. We are currently running a raffle for Dallas Cowboy home game tickets to see your Dallas Cowboys completely and utterly destroy the Philadelphia Eagles live in person. So to enter into the raffle, all you have to do is either send $10 via the Cash App, which is $Henny Demore, or you can send the $10 through Super Chat or Super Stickers. You are not limited to the amount of entries you can send, and we're going to run the raffle all the way to August the 1st. All right, so the first place winner is going to get a Dallas Cowboy ticket to see the Dallas Cowboys destroy the Eagles with a seat attached to it. Second place winner is going to get a ticket to the same game for general admission and standing room area. And then last but not least, Third place winner is going to get a PlayStation 4 or a Dallas Cowboy jersey of the winner's choice. So if that entices you, that's something that you want to do, or you just want to support the content, hit the Cash App, hit the supers, and we in here. Now that that's out the way, let's do the content, man. So let's start, because I was gonna wait to do a follow-up in regard to the defense. I was gonna wait to do it. But Dan Quinn gassed me up, man. Dan Quinn really gassed me up with this most recent report. So, and this is from Patrick No C Walker. Salute to him. Always a good follow. If you don't follow him on Twitter or other social media platforms, you should definitely do so. But he said Dan Quinn admits he's been excited each year with the Cowboys, and as he should. We had a top defensive unit every year he's been here. Seeing the talent he has on defense and their trajectory, but always a but. He says 2023 feels different and more leveled up than in 2021 and in 2022. He said, I'm fired up. Man, listen. We already had one of the better defensive units last year and the year before. All right, we already had that, the last couple of years, a very good defensive unit. But as he mentioned, it's like they leveled up. This is year 3 of Dan Quinn being the offensive, the defensive coordinator. This is year 3 of these players being in this defensive system. So there's not a lot of changeover, not a lot of rollover. He's been here. They understand what they're asked to do. They understand their roles, their jobs, where to be on specific plays. They understand the communication. So every year you have seen this defense gradually get better under the Dan Quinn regime. So with the improved defensive personnel that we picked up, we know that we got Mozzie Smith. We know that we went out there and got Stephon Gilmore. We know about those acquisitions and what they mean to the overall success of this team as a whole. But let's project individually and as a whole what this team is going to do next year. Like, so we did it with the offense yesterday. Let's do the same thing with the defense this year. Yeah, I like that. There's definitely a reason that he stayed, because he knows what's up. James Simmons, what's up, man? I appreciate you tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my guy. I appreciate that. Matter of fact, let me set this down here, because there's only me on there, so I have that banner running. All right, so let me share this. I'm gonna share my screen with you. We're gonna start from the top. As you know, I found some projections for next year. I'm looking at the defensive projections. We looked at offensive last night. These are the defensive projections. So sack totals. So let's start with the sack totals. So they are projecting the Dallas Cowboys to be a top 5 pass rushing team next year. They think the Philadelphia Eagles will have the most sacks again. They got Pittsburgh having the second most sacks, the Commanders having the third, 49ers having the 4th most, and then they have Dallas projected having the 5th most sacks in the NFL next year. They have them projected for 46.6 sacks. 46.6. Now, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest and just take a look at our stuff as a whole. That's not really, I'm not saying it's not a lot of sacks. Said, what's up, Henny and Cowboys Nation? 90 days to kick off. Let's go, boys. Hey, salute to you, man. If we hit on Billy and Mazda draft picks, this defense will be downright scary. I agree. So they're saying we want to go get 46. Well, last year, as you know, because this is the sack leaders from last year, the Eagles had 70 sacks. They led the league by a large margin. The Kansas City Chiefs had 55 sacks. Surprisingly, the New England Patriots had 54, and so did the Dallas Cowboys. So the Dallas Cowboys were tied for the 3rd most sacks in the NFL last year. Right. So we ended up with 54 sacks last year. So to think that we would take a step back in overall sack production, because they only have us getting, I believe, 46.6. So about they only have us projected for getting 47. I do not believe the Dallas Cowboys will be 9 sacks worse. Like that's a that's a 9. That's no. That's a 7 sack turnaround. If you say it's 47 sacks, we had 54 last year. I don't think we'll be a team that gets 7 less sacks, right? Especially with the way that our team is currently constructed. We know that Micah Parsons is determined to get more snaps at true defensive end, more pass rushing opportunities. We know that our run defense overall should be better with the acquisition of Monty Smith and being able to pair him with Jonathan Hankins in the middle. We know that we're expected to get more pass rushing snaps out of Sam Williams. We re-signed Dante Fowler. So the Dallas Cowboys still have a very formidable pass rush. They have a very formidable pass rush, and our run defense should be so much better that there will be more opportunities to rush the passer. So I don't necessarily agree with the Dallas Cowboys only getting 47 sacks next year as they're projecting. I feel like I need to go to bed right now. Well, hey, get you some rest in, Jameson. I appreciate you for stopping by, man. Yeah, I appreciate you for stopping by, man. Salute to you. So yeah, because of those factors, right? Better run defense, more pass rushing opportunities for your best pass rusher. More opportunities to play with the lead because they are wanting to lean on the run game a little bit more this year with Brian Schottenheimer's version of the West Coast offense. So I do believe that number will be wrong. So I'm gonna bring this back up, the projection, so we can all look at it again. All right, you should be able to see it again. So they're projecting the Dallas Cowboys to have 46.6. That's entirely too low. And remember, if you're making future bets over under, if this is an option for you, I don't know what sites you're using or what kind of tickets they let you make, but you're doing a futures bet, go for the over. If this is the over under, if the over under was 46.6, you should take the over. The Dallas Cowboys are going to get, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I think Dallas Cowboys get 60 sacks this year. Go ahead and put in the chat bar. I need y'all to put them 60s in there for Nipsey. Hey, I think Dallas Cowboys going to get 60 sacks this year. Michael Parsons is going to have more pass rushing opportunities. The run game going to be so much better that you can't run against Dallas Cowboys to get back into the game. Dallas Cowboys will get about 60 sacks next year. Matt Leslie dropped his 60. Justin Kitchens dropped his 60. Hey, Steven dropped his 60. Tony Snow dropped his 60. What's up with you, Dwayne Brown? I see you sliding through the door, my brother. I appreciate you. So, hey, we had so much fun. Hey, what's up with you, Big Dad? Salute to you. Yeah, we had so much fun, man, with the offensive projections. We're going to do the defensive projections today, if y'all wondering what's going on. And then he said, better run defense, me more second and third and longs. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Dwayne Brown had to go even higher. He said 62. Hey, I'm with it. Hoodlum said 65. Okay. But yeah, I definitely do think the Dallas Cowboys pass rush is not going to be an issue. So I said the Dallas Cowboys will have about 60. What will Michael Parsons have? Well, let's take a look. Oh yeah, we'll do takeaways next. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna do sack totalage. We're gonna do individual sack totals. We're gonna do interceptions. Yeah, we're gonna do all that, man. So hey, don't trip. We're gonna go through the whole list, with a fine tooth comb, and we will leave no stone unturned. So let's project for one Micah Parsons. Because they do not have an individual. Because they don't have an individual one for them, so we're just gonna do it ourselves. All right, so let's get Micah pulled up here. It's 17 to 21 for Micah. Hey, if it happens, I would love it. So this is a look at Micah Parsons over the course of his career in terms of tackle for loss, sacks, overall defensive numbers. So in 2021, Micah Parsons had 64 tackles, 20 assists, came to be 84 combined tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 13 sacks, and 3 passes defended. Last year, he had 42 solo tackles, 23 assists, came to 65 total, 13 tackles for loss. He had 13 and a half sacks and 3 passes defended. So Micah Parsons, his first 2 years in the league, has 26 and a half sacks, which is actually a better start to a career than DeMarcus Ware. Right. DeMarcus Ware did not have that kind of production his first 2 years into the league. Lord, I'm not gonna speak on that, man. We're not gonna talk about, people that don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Hey, what's up with you? All right, my boy Keystone sliding in, man. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for the love, my guy. Thank you. So we know for a fact that Micah Parsons has never had under 13 sacks in a season. He's never had under 13 sacks in a season. So, if there's an over-under on his sacks, you're going to take the over on 13. Because he's slightly improved, in total sacks even last year. So let's go even deeper. So Micah Parsons over the last 2 seasons has a pass rush win rate of 25.4%. Right, over his first 2 seasons in the league, he has a pass rush win rate of 25.4%. So put that into comparison. Nick Bosa over his first 2 years had a pass rush win rate of 18.5. Joey Bosa had a pass rush win rate of 21.9, and Myles Garrett had a pass rush win rate of 18.4. So not only is Micah Parsons elite at actually getting the sacks, he's elite at actually beating his guy, right? So 25% of the time means on a fourth of his pass rush attempts, he's outright beating the tackle, the guard, whoever he's going up against. So Micah Parsons is winning a fourth of his pass rush attempts. So let's do some projection. Matter of fact, I need y'all to do me a favor. Y'all go ahead and put that 25. Go ahead and put 25 in the chat box. Because he's winning 25% of the time when he pass rushes the ball. Right, when he rushes the passer. So let's just do some projection, right? Let's do some projection. I'm gonna go pull up Micah Parsons and his snap count. We're gonna see how many times he actually rushed the passer. All right, so let's see how many times he actually rushed the passer last year. So Micah Parsons had 488 pass rush attempts last year. All right, so he only had 488. Let me see how many somebody like Nick Bosa had. How many did Nick Bosa have? So Michael only had 488. Let's see what Nick had. Just for comparisons, for comparison purposes. All right, so Nick had 508 pass rushing attempts. So let's say we give Michael Parsons 508 pass rushing attempts this year. We do know that Michael Parsons is planning to play more, defensive line. Let's say he's planning to rush the passer a little bit more. So let's say we give him 508 opportunities to rush the passer. All right. Times 25%. So if Michael Parsons rushed the passer 508 times, he'll win the pass rush 127 times. Right? So there'll be a win for him 127 times. And remember, a win just means that he beat his man. Does not mean that he actually got to the quarterback. But the ball comes out very quick in the NFL. That people don't get. Sometimes you're inches away from getting a sack and the ball's coming out. So if he rushes the passer 508 times and he maintains that 25% of winning his pass rush, he'll have 127 pass rush wins on the season. So let's go even further. Right? What percentage of his pass rush wins actually turned into sacks? What's up with you, JC Cowboy Network? Salute to you. All right, so let's see. We know for a fact, that he had 13 and a half sacks last year. He had 488 pass rushing attempts. And we know just around it. And we know those 488 pass rush attempts, he won 25% of the time. Well, 25% of 488 is 122. All right. Divided by 13.5. Oh, 13.5 divided by 122. All right, so 11% of Michael Parsons' pass rush wins turn into sacks. Right, so he won 122 times. Because this is basic math, right? This is basic math. I hope that we're not losing anybody on how we're going to come up with this projection. So Michael Parsons had 488 pass rushing snaps last year. And he won 25% of his pass rushing attempts. So theoretically, Michael Parsons, you could say, won 122 times last year. And out of those 122 pass wins, he turned that into 13 and a half sacks. Well, if he wins 11% of his pass rushing attempts this year, right? So let's go back through it. We said he's gonna probably get the Nick Bosa treatment. He get 508 pass rushing attempts. Right, he'll get 508 pass rushing attempts. 25%. So there's 127 wins. 11% of that will be right at 14. So theoretically, if he only got 508 pass rushing snaps, it would not change his overall sack production by much. Right, he will only have an additional sack. But we know that Michael Parsons is probably going to rush the passer more than 508 times. No, we use Nick Bosa as the low win because realistically, Nick Bosa only had 20 more pass rushing attempts than Michael Parsons did last year, right? So it's not like it was anything crazy to the point, that we had to throw the numbers out, find new numbers for him, this, that, and the third. But let's take a look at somebody like T.J. Watt, because we all want Michael Parsons to win Defensive Player of the Year. So T.J. Watt did that last year. Let's see how many pass rushing attempts he had. Hold on, my music just disappeared. They ain't gonna do me like that. He said I had math first period, didn't get to school to second period. Y'all crazy as hell. All right, so let's see. Oh wait, TJ Watt got hurt last year. That's not who the hell I was thinking about. You know what? Let's look at it for the 2021 season for TJ. How many times did he rush the passer then? Because he had 22 sacks in 2021. So how many times did he rush the passer? Oh wow, that's some crazy shit. Huh. Well, there's something that actually surprises me. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. TJ Watt, when he won Defensive Player of the Year, only rushed the passer 413 times. So he was just winning. He was just winning at a crazy rate. So you know what? Theoretically, just breaking the numbers down, realistically, Michael Parsons will just have to win more of his pass rushing attempts to get it, to get the kind of number the other guys are putting up. Because he's already rushing the passer almost as much as Nick Bosa, and he rushed the passer more this year than TJ Watt did in 2021 when he had the 22 sack season. So theoretically, Michael Parsons just probably has to win more of his snaps. So I really don't know how many more pass rushing attempts he can get if he's grading out this high in actual pass rushing attempts. I didn't actually know that though. So I guess we all learn something new every day, man. Because I did not know that stuff. All right, so he will have at least 14 sacks though, just by the basic math, right? And we give him 500 pass rushing attempts. He has a pass rush win rate of 25%. 11% of his pass rush wins to actually turn into sacks. So we'll say on the low end he'll have at least 14 sacks. On the high end, it's very possible for him to have 19 to 20. There's really no difference in between a Michael Parsons or a TJ Watt or a Nick Bosa. They are all the cream of the crop when it comes to terms of pass rushing. So it might just have to be Michael Parsons, going up against inferior offensive lines sometime, right? It might just have to be that. So truth be told, I don't think there's anything else Michael Parsons can do but be Michael Parsons. I don't think there's no magic formula or equation to determine that. But I will say, projecting, I think Michael Parsons will have a personal best in sacks. He'll have at least 14 because he's improved his pass rushing. He improved his pass rushing year in and year out. He's improved his sack totals. So yeah. Yeah, there might be a possibility too. He might be a little bit stronger to get some extra sacks. But I'm gonna go off on the limb here, just because of how I feel about Michael Parsons as a player. And listen, we did the math on it. We know for a fact that he's gonna probably have more sacks this year, than he did last year, just from the trend of him improving, just from the basic math we did to determine how many of his pass rush wins turn into sacks. So yeah, I'm gonna say Michael Parsons has 17 sacks this year. Hey, I appreciate that, man, Raymond. Salute. Yeah, everybody, please make sure to hit that like and share button for your boy, man. Please make sure to hit that like and share for your man. But we're trying to improve this algorithm so more folks can find it, man. And also shout out to my brother JC, man. Salute to you. Hey, my boy Joe said the only math he good at is counting money. He said I want to see 20 sacks. Hey, it's a possibility because he's winning his pass rushing reps at a phenomenal rate, mind-boggling rate. So 20 sacks is not out the realm of possibility. Yo, Action Pal, salute to you, man. So, hey, I appreciate you, man. I'm up here just doing some proper mathematics right now, man. Yeah, we just up here taking a look at OG Michael Parsons, see what he gonna get. I'm gonna say on the low end, right? Because there is a great possibility of him having 20 sacks. But I'm gonna say on the low end, Michael Parsons has at least 17 sacks this year, just based on everything else. Because he already is rushing the passer at a rate to get 22 sacks, right? Because we saw the TJ Watt boy get 22 sacks on less pass rushing attempts than what Michael Parsons is already getting. So Michael Parsons with 500 pass rushing attempts definitely gets at least 17 sacks, maybe 20 if he goes up against some bad offensive lines. All right, so that's the first one, right? We took a look at Michael Parsons. OG DeMarcus Lawrence. Now, I'm gonna say this and make it quick. I'm not gonna do a bunch of analytical breakdown. DeMarcus Lawrence is not really a sack master. His strong suit is run defense. He's probably the best defensive end against the run in the NFL. Is it at least 17? At least 17. At least 17. Yeah. Especially, you also got to think about it like this. But these are things that you can't really quantify. Your secondary improved, meaning there will be more opportunities for coverage sacks. Like, even if Michael Parsons did not initially win on some of these reps, guys are going to have to hold the ball a lot longer to try and complete a pass or to make something happen because you improved your secondary. So, that is going to also play a factor in Michael Parsons' increased and his increased sack totals. I say at least 12, most sack record. I think that the Marcus Lawrence, he gonna do what he normally do. Hey, what's up with you, Dwayne Morris? Thank you for tapping in with me, man. The Marcus Lawrence gonna get about 5 or 6 sacks. He might get 7. He might get 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect the Marcus Lawrence. I don't expect the Marcus Lawrence to eclipse 10 sacks. So there's an over under on D-Law. I say that take the under on 10 sacks. It's going to be anywhere between the 5 and the 8 range, in my personal opinion. But DeMarcus Lawrence, he is more so there for leadership, run defense, and his tenacity. Right. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. You already got a guy that you're expecting to be a sack master. Yeah, he makes the other types of plays that people don't give the fanfare to, and that's why I rock with D-Law, man. That's why I rock with D-Law, because he's great at his job, great run defender, and he still gets sacks. You know what I mean? He doesn't get all the sacks in the world, but he gets enough sacks to where it justifies him being on the field. And then what people trip me out, people only look at sack totalage. They don't look at pressures. They don't look at quarterback hits. They don't look at hurries. Matter of fact, let me show D-Law some love, man. Let me pull up the Marcus Lawrence. Yeah, he had 6 sacks last year, 3 forced fumbles, which was top 10 in the NFL. Matter of fact, let me screen share some of this with y'all. So boom, we got D-Law pulled up right here. So last year he had 6 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and he ended up with 50 solo tackles, which was second among all defensive ends. And he had 9 assists. So he had 59 total tackles. Graded out good as a pass rusher and as a run defender, as we previously mentioned. All right. So last year, DeMarcus Lawrence had 6 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, 41 hurries, was the most hurries that DeMarcus Lawrence has had since 2017. 3 batted passes, And he also set his career high in solo tackles with 50. Right. He also had 44 defensive stops. And if you don't know what a stop is a play where the defense actually wins a rep against the offense. You know, it could be a tackle at the line of scrimmage. It could be a tackle in the backfield. You know, different things like that equate to a defensive stop. He had 44 of them by himself, which was the highest amount of defensive stops that he had since 2018. Well, he also had 44 then. So Michael, hey, yeah, man, Demarcus Lawrence threw a lot of dirty work for this team, man. Yeah, Demarcus Lawrence does a lot of dirty work for this team. He gets he gets a lot of pressures. He gets a lot of hurries. He still hits the quarterback. He's still great against the run. Shout out to DeMarcus Lawrence, man. Shout out to Tank. Tank is one of the unsung heroes of this defense, man. He did not get enough love. He did not get enough love for the things he does, man. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with sack specialists, but you know there are other ways to determine, you know, superior defensive line play other than just sacks. It's not all about the sacks. Let's see. Good, and I'm sorry I keep saying that over and over. It's all good, man. You good, brother? We ain't tripping. All right, so that's gonna be my over under for him. He said Tank Rich, D-Law late in his career, similar to Strahan at the end of his career, playing run wise. Hey, I can sort of see the similarities right there. I can sort of see that. All right, so we talked about Micah. You know, I projected him to get about 17 sacks. I said that D-Law is going to probably have under 10, so he'll have between six and 8 sacks on a year. Hey, listen, I think Sam Williams, put Sam Williams down for 10 sacks, man. I think Sam Williams is going to take, you know, a jump in his development and his production. I think they will give him more pass rushing opportunities to get after the passer. So let's take a look at Sam Williams too. Let's do some math on Sam. All right. So Sam Williams had 18 total tackles last year. He had 4 sacks and a forced fumble. Right. But we also know that Sam Williams did not play a lot of snaps last year. Sam Williams only had 166 opportunities to rush the passer. Right? He only had 166 opportunities to rush the passer. So he did not get a lot of snaps at all. Because remember, Micah Parsons had 488 opportunities to get after the quarterback and try to make plays. So in a very limited amount of snaps, he got you sacks. He got you pressures. Matter of fact, let me just read the numbers out to you. Let's see. So on the seasons, he had 7 quarterback hits, 11 hurries, 14 tackles, and of course to go along with the 4 sacks. He also had 15 defensive stops. He had 15 defensive stops and a forced fumble. So yeah, I'm definitely rocking with Sam, man. So you give him more opportunities. Because remember, on 166 reps, right? He got you 4 sacks. So theoretically, if you were to double it, let's say you double those opportunities, right? He goes from 166 snaps to 332, which is very possible, right? Because they're expecting him to play more. He's a second round pick. They're speaking highly about his development and wanting to give him more opportunities. So let's say if you only give him 332 pass rushing snaps, theoretically you can get 8 sacks out of that. So if Sam Williams get about 400 pass rushing opportunities, he will get 10 sacks. Hey, what's up with you, Michael H? Yeah, man. So yeah, he definitely had stops too. He had 15 total stops. And what's up with you, Patrice? Thank you for tapping in. Salute to you. Yeah, we live in the liquor store, man. We live in the liquor store. So yes, so if Sam Williams get at least 400 pass rushing attempts, he will get you about 10 sacks this year. And I think he'll get the opportunity. So I'm saying Sam Williams, you can damn near lock it in. Outside of injury, Sam Williams is going to have 10 sacks this year. He's way too good. He led the SEC in sacks his last year in Ole Miss. He had 4 sacks last year in a very limited role. So yeah, Sam Williams is going to have 10 sacks this year, which is one of the reasons I don't mind having an OG DeMarcus Lawrence around still, because you need somebody to stop the run. You need a leader. You need all those other things that these young guys don't necessarily have in their toolbox just yet. I'm driving, y'all. So hey to everyone. So you got the bone up on the tackles. Well, not really, because Michael Parsons only had 65 tackles last year, and he actually played a lot of snaps. So and really, man, defensive ends, edge players don't really get like these gaudy tackle numbers or anything like that. You'll see linebackers and safeties with 100 tackles, but you really won't see defensive ends with buku tackles like that. So if he gives you about 40, he gives you about 30 or 40 tackles, I'm cool with that. Because DeMarcus Lawrence, as good as he is as a wily veteran, he only had 50 tackles last year, right? He only had 50 solo tackles. So it just really depends on how this all plays out. But I'm not too concerned about the tackles. Now, I will say this: he can't miss tackles. That'd be the only thing that would keep him off the field. He can't miss a tackle, but he don't have to have outrageous tackle numbers either to get on the field. Because peep this, let's go back in time. Last year, with the most combined tackles that DeMarcus Lawrence ever had, he had 65. Other times in his career, he had 55 combined tackles, 58, 64, 45, 58. And he is one of the better he's one of the better ones against the run and things like that. He one of the defensive ends that get tackles. Hey, what's up with you, Willie? I appreciate you for tapping in, showing love to the channel, my guy. Salute to you. Choctaw, you done slid through the back door, man. What's up with you, man? Salute to my boy. But yeah, so like Sam Williams just don't have to miss. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link in run support. Yeah, but that's why I mean, like, he does, as long as he does not miss tackles, is what I'm saying. Like, I think he'll be better in run support just from the fact that you have defensive tackles in the middle that are actually run stoppers, true one techs. They can actually eat up space. So I think everybody's tackles are going to be better because it won't be as clogged and congested. Henny, I'm just getting on and didn't know you went live. Let me fix my notification. Hey, it's all love, man. I appreciate you. Smoke one for you. Salute to you, man. And for anybody just now coming into the show, we are actually taking a look at the defensive projections for the 2023 season. We took a look at it. I'm gonna go back through here. I'm gonna pull this back up just so y'all can see what we were been talking about. All right, so this is what we were looking at. This is the same site from yesterday that we used for the offensive projections. So they got the Dallas Cowboys at 46.6 sacks on the season. Dallas Cowboys actually had 54 last year. So I actually think with the improvement of our run defense, the Dallas Cowboys will have 60 sacks next year. So I also projected Michael Parsons to have 17 sacks. I projected DeMarcus Lawrence to have between 5 and 8 sacks on the season. And I pretty much put it in stone that Sam Williams will have 10 sacks this year. Yeah, YouTube be wilding, man. And Michael H., I said, there's nothing wrong with your train of thought. Like, those kind of things do occur. Those things do have to be accounted for. And he is not the best run defender in the world. But, it doesn't necessarily mean that he won't be on the field more. I think the Dallas Cowboys will be so good against the run, it's going to force teams to have more pass attempts against us. And when you have more pass attempts, more opportunities you have to let your pass rusher get after guys. So even if he is going to be relegated to a second and long or third and long pass rusher, I still think he'll have way more pass rushing attempts than 166, which he had last year. Will still go hand in hand with him being able to get to 10 sacks. Mozzie and Hankins. And what I love about it is not just simply, hey, Hankins going to start, Mozzie's going to rotate in, or Mozzie's going to start and Hankins going to rotate in. They're talking about playing these boys simultaneously, side by side. Even if it's only situationally, that is beautiful news to my ears. It's beautiful to hear, man, because we all know the Dallas Cowboys were the 22nd ranked run defense last year. Of course, he will get playing time. Michael said get 8 sacks. I say be well-rounded. Okay, I can agree with that. Got to get my computer up to snuff so I can go live. Need to learn the pick on pick. Speaking of Mozzie, he has not been talked about since the draft. Hey, you're not going to be able to talk about your defensive tackles when you're not hitting people. Like a lot of the stuff that's going on in training camp right now, guys are not going full speed. They're just running routes against air. The defensive players weren't being allowed to actually make plays on the ball. Different things. This was pretty much like a bunch of walkthroughs. You're not going to really hear anything about your defensive tackles until they get into the pass, start hitting each other, live action, until you hear about scrimmages. Yeah, you're not going to hear anything about your defensive tackles. None of your defensive tackles. No, you'll hear some stuff about the pass rushers because a lot of the stuff about that is finesse. Like you can hit a guy with a nice finesse move, speed move, spin move in practice. And it'll look real pretty. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to really know what you got in your DTs until they can hit somebody. All right, so moving along. So we said 17 sacks from Micah. We said 10 sacks for Sam. I'm going to go ahead and put a number on D-Law. I keep saying between 5 and 8. My boy going to have 7 sacks, which is going to be slightly better than he did last year. So 17 for Micah, 7 for D-Law, 10 for 10 for Sam. So that's got us up to, that's 34 sacks right there. So that's 34 sacks. It's all about the read and diagnosis. Don't just take off like a wild banshee. Oh, okay, like a wild banshee. Banjo for the quarterback. Okay. All right. Keystone says Sam gonna get 8. What are we going to say if Luke K turns out to be more than what we thought, huh? And go ahead and say 70 sacks, bro. We got some sack monsters now. He said 6 for D-Law. I'm gonna give D Law 7 off the love. I'm gonna give D Law 7 off the love. I think everybody's gonna have a slight increase in pass rush production based on how well I expect the secondary to play. So there will be more opportunities for coverage sacks based on the Dallas Cowboys' improved ability to stop the run. So that will further help teams force teams to be more one-dimensional against the Dallas Cowboys, also leading to more pass rushing opportunities. So I'm factoring that in with everything. So no, that's why I got some gaudy numbers for Micah, and that's also why I have increases for everybody else along this pass rushing line. The only person I do not think is going to have more sacks than they did last year is going to be Dorrance Armstrong, and it's not because Dorrance Armstrong is not a good talent. It's because I think that Dorrance Armstrong is going to have less opportunities with the emergence of Sam Williams. There's only so many guys you can throw out there at any given time to rush the passer, and even if they're all on the field together, you can only get one sack or a half a sack. Even if people get to the quarterback simultaneously. So I think DA is going to be the guy who takes a step back in his sack totalage. I actually think DA is going to be the guy that ends up with like 8 sacks. He'll end up with like 7 sacks. Matter of fact, I think he'll end up with limited amount of snaps. He'll end up with 6. I'm giving DA 6. I'm giving Fowler 6. Just because neither one of them are going to get a lot of pass rushing opportunities in comparison to these other guys. So I got Micah with 17, D-Law with 7, Sam with 10, DA with 6, and Dante with 6. And that's just amongst the defensive line so far. Remember, I'm trying to get to 60 because that's the number that I said we get. So 17 to 7, 10, 6, 6. So we're already at 46 sacks. All right, we're already at 46 sacks. That's not going to account for the sacks that you might accidentally get from your defensive tackles, right? Your defensive tackles might mess around, get a couple sacks. Donovan Wilson himself had 5 sacks last year, coming from that hybrid safety linebacker slot, however you want to call it. So yeah, man. So Choctaw said Dorrance 4, other dude 6, Mozzie about 3. I'll give Mozzie about 2 or 3. All right, actually, I'm gonna give Mozzie 2, just because he never had a sack in college. So I think him getting 2 sacks, is far more than I ever expected from Mozzie Smith. So I'm gonna give Mozzie 2. I'm gonna give Hankins a singular sack. You know what? Damn, you right, Gallimore, man. I be forgetting. We got some dudes, boy. We got some dudes. Like, this is gonna be crazy. We might have to up this. Listen. I said 60 sacks. I said 60 sacks. We might get way more than 60 sacks, dog. We might get way more than 60 sacks. How to sound for pass rushers? We have Parsons, Williams, D-Law, Fihoko, Fowler, Armstrong, Sweat, Land. I mean, that is a lot of sub here. Henny, we deep on that D line. Yeah, we are definitely deep at defensive line, and that's really just to throw this back out there. Y'all gonna have to really pay attention to the defensive line camp battles. Isaiah Land. I feel like he'll make the team, but he said, "What's the NFL record for sacks?" Let's see. We know it's more than 70 because the Eagles had 70 last year. The 84 Bears set the sack record back in 1984. They had 72 sacks. They had 72 sacks, right? So let's take a look. All right. So these are the records. The Bears in 84 had 72. The Vikings in 89. The Purple People Eaters had 71. The filthy Philadelphia Eagles had 70 last year. The 87 Bears had 70. And the 85 Giants had 68. So those are the 5 teams with the biggest sack records in a singular season. So we'll have to be about, we could probably get 73. But if the young pups come along with, all this stuff is a possibility, man. All this stuff is a very good possibility of happening. Yo, what's up with you, man? Chill Will, salute to you, my brothers. Thank you for tapping in, showing love to the liquor store, my guy. Hey, we got love for you too, hey Jameson. We appreciate you for stopping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. Real talk. So listen, because we'll never get done with this, and we only project the sacks. Let's go ahead and up the total. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give them 70. I'm not even being egregious. If our pass rushers and defensive line stays healthy, we can get 70 sacks, especially in a 17 game season. I said 60 at first, but I think we can get maybe not even 70. I think for a fact we can get 65. Even if we don't get 70, I think we can get about 65. Down the record, I won't fear in those quarterbacks, especially Aaron. Well, we're gonna get an opportunity to get after Aaron Rodgers very early in the season, so you won't have blown the wait keystone. Aaron Rodgers will be coming to Dallas in the home opener, so hopefully the Dallas Cowboys can sack him, about half a dozen times. So I'm telling you, man, no BS. We got some real dogs on that D line. And I do agree with you, Michael. He said if they, and he was referring to Hankins and Mozzie, can get a consistent pass rush on the middle, 70 plus is doable. I think it is doable. I think it's very doable. And listen, we're lined up to have a similar season to the Philadelphia Eagles. We do not play a first place schedule, right? Because we did not win the division last year. We have a lot of favorable matchups. You know what I'm saying? We got dominant pass rushers in Micah Parsons. So yeah, I think all the reasons that we mentioned, 70 sacks is very possible. But what about interceptions? Let's talk about takeaways now. We went through this. We've been projecting these sacks and sack totals. We even did a little bit of math to try and figure out Micah Parsons. Right? We even did a little bit of math to try and figure out that boy Micah Parsons. So let's take a look. I'm gonna bring this screen back up. Let's take a look at interceptions. Let's take a look at interceptions real quick. So they also had the Dallas Cowboys high in this area. So New England, they're projected to have 14.7. Buffalo is projected to have 14.7. Pittsburgh 14.6. Green Bay 14.6. Dallas in fifth with 14.3. So they're projecting the Dallas Cowboys to have 14 and 14 sacks next year. Let's just say 14 sacks. 14 interceptions. God forgive me. 14 sacks, I cry. So how many interceptions did the Dallas Cowboys have last year? Let's take a look. So last year, the Steelers led the NFL in interceptions. They had 20. The 49ers are also tied with that. They had 20. Patriots had 19. The Packers had 17. The Eagles had 17. The Bills had 17. And then the Rams, Cowboys, Texans all had 16 interceptions. All had 16 interceptions. So last year, the Dallas Cowboys only had 16 interceptions. But, you know, that's still more than that 14 they trying to give us. And we also know for a fact that Trayvon Diggs did not have a repeat of his 2021 season. But I do expect him to have more opportunities to make plays on the ball this upcoming season, just because you can't pick your poison. You just can't pick your poison no more. You're going to have to either throw to Stephon Gilmore, who's a former defensive player of the year. You have to throw to Deron Bland, who had 5 interceptions last year. You have to throw to Trayvon Diggs, who's leading the NFL in interceptions since 2020. So I think there's not an area where you can go on the field with the ball. You know, because last year they specifically targeted cornerback 2, whether it was Anthony Brown or Kelvin Joseph or Mullins or whoever they threw back there. So we definitely will see what happens. But no, I don't agree with 14. Matter of fact, let's see how many the Dallas Cowboys had in 2020. I think we got more ball hawks on here. So yeah, the Dallas Cowboys had 26 interceptions in 2021. Right, when Trayvon Diggs had 11 interceptions, the Dallas Cowboys as a whole had 26. So with that said, right, let's shoot for it. Let's do 26 interceptions. I believe in Trayvon Diggs. I believe in Bland. I believe in Gilmore. And like Michael H said, pass rush and cover and the back end coverage really does go hand in hand. There are times when the pass rush will make the cornerbacks' jobs easier, and then there are times when the coverage is going to make the pass rusher's job easier. It might buy them more time to get to the quarterback. So, man, this defense overall is going to be amazing next year, man. The defense overall is going to be amazing next year, man. Like real talk. Said who's the first preseason game? The Jaguars. I think it is the Jaguars, and I think it's in Dallas. So I might try to make it. I might just try to make it to the first preseason game. I don't know yet, but it is in Dallas. Dallas is only about 2 hours away, so I think I will try to slide up there. Oh yeah, shout out to Easy McQuamu, man, friend of the show. He definitely gonna get some opportunities to make some plays, man. Yeah, and listen, I think I've said this multiple times at this point. The Dallas Cowboys have probably the best secondary in the NFL. If you look at the defensive backs, the corners, you look at the safety room. Like this is a very deep and talented squad all the way around, man. And then you got some position flex at key positions. Like Izzy can play safety and he can play corner. Right? We know that Kelvin Joseph is interchangeable in corner and safety because he has a background like that. Your pass rushers and your linebackers. You got safeties that can play linebackers. You got linebackers that can cover. Right? You got linebackers that can rush the passer. So I'm very happy with the multiplicity of this defense, the different fronts we can get to, the different coverages we can get into, the overall talent and depth. Like I'm very happy with this defense. Yep, up and down, we do this. It's the best collection of talent we had since 2016. Bro, I think this is a better team than 2016. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to even sit here and lie to you. But remember, in 2016, the Dallas Cowboys defense did not even have a name. Right? They became the Hot Boys until 2016 or a little bit after that. Cause listen, Dak Prescott is not a raw rookie anymore. He's a top 10 quarterback. You got a Pro Bowl running back. You got an All Pro wide receiver that's fully healthy. You got your number 2 wide receiver is a guy who was 1,000-yard guy. You know, most of his career. Your offensive line is not as good, but you know, like it has potential to be very good this year. Yeah, the defense in 2016 was average. This defense is elite. Yeah, this defense is elite. And when people be forgetting, like Dez Bryant missed a large chunk of that 2016 season with injury. So, you know, Dak Prescott was out there throwing to Cole Beasley and Terrence Williams and Bryce Butlers of the world. So I think this overall team is better, top to bottom. Just based on Dak Prescott added experience, the weapons around him, this defense. I feel so good about this team going to the season. Because last year, man, I had a bunch of question marks, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a bunch of question marks. Not so much this year. Like the only thing that could even come close to derailing this season is the offensive line, and I think the Dallas Cowboys are actively trying to do the right thing this time. So, man, I feel so good about this team overall, man. Like, so listen, we said 26 interceptions, right? Like, you know, I get carried away with this stuff, man. He said, landlord, let's see how our stable do. I bet Luke K be our short yard back. I think Luke K has potential to be the short yardage back. And you know I'm not landlord, right, my brother? But I'm still glad you're watching the show. All right, but let's start with Trey. Said keep it a $150. Cooper Rush saved the season last year. Well, thank God that he played like that. Oh yeah, he ain't you. No, I know. But yeah, man, I definitely unless he has the possibility of doing so. I just need to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need to see it. Definitely could have gone the other way. Because we remember in 2020, you know, we expected Andy Dalton to step in and help us overcome, you know, the Dak Prescott injury, and it didn't work out like that. Then he backdoored and got injured. He said, do I want Zeke? I want any running back that helps me win title number 6. I want any running back that helps me win championship number 6. If that happens to be Ezekiel Elliott, who is a good short yardage back and a good pass blocker, right, then I can take it. Hey, sometimes, man, you just got to. He said, "Sup, Henny? Did you receive?" Yes, I did, my boy. I appreciate you for that, and that did get you 2 entries into the Dallas Cowboy raffle. So salute to you, man. If y'all want to be like my brother Melvin Brownlee and improve your odds of getting the Dallas Cowboy tickets, you know, just hit the Cash App, $ Henny the More, $10 an entry, or hit the super chat, or hit the super stickers. And real quick, just so everybody know, he said Cook or Zeke. Realistically, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys can get Dalvin Cook. So, you know, at this point in the season, we're talking about realism because we know the Dallas Cowboys are not going to spend money on a running back. Ezekiel Elliott is probably the guy that the Dallas Cowboys can afford and will be willing to play for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dalvin Cook said he won't closer to $10 million than 5. At least that was being reported. I ain't heard the man say it out loud out his own mouth. I ain't see his lips moving and words coming out. But they're reporting that Dalvin Cooks, wants close to $10 million. You're already paying Tony Pollard $10 million exactly, fully guaranteed for this season. So, I would have to be out on Dalvin Cook just based on that. And listen, like Ezekiel Elliott ain't gonna cost you that much money to bring back in. Because you can sign Zeke, you can turn around and sign a kicker, and then you can turn around and give an extension to somebody. That man said close to $10 million. I don't care. We don't get Cook that after knowing Zeke not coming back. Well, he said, Henny, I don't mind going back and seeing old games, but that year with that defense, how it was with Jay Smith, Wolf Hunter, and maybe LD getting torch every game. Man, that was really the most disappointing part of that season. Right, because they made the change to go to a 3-4 defense. Right, they went to a 3-4 defense. We were a good defensive unit the year before. We weren't the best in the world, but we were a better defensive unit 2019 than we were in 2020. But there was some turnover. There was some questions. So yeah, I expected my defense to play better than that. I understood why they played that bad, and they did get it turned around in the last couple of games of the season. But man, I was disappointed in the defense because Dak Prescott was on pace to throw for 6,000 yards if he didn't get hurt. He was on pace to throw for 6,000 yards had he not gotten hurt. He might have been able to get Offensive Player of the Year or something crazy if he had kept playing, put up those crazy numbers. If I'm not mistaken, the game before he got hurt against the Browns, he threw like 5 touchdowns that game, didn't he? He had like a 5 touchdown game against the Browns or something crazy. Hey, shout out to Melvin Brown. They got you another entry. Okay, yeah. So Melvin Brown, they got you another entry, man. So hey, they got you 3 entries to win the Dallas Cowboy jersey, ticket. So salute to you, man. If y'all want to be like Melvin Brown and keep improving your odds of getting this tickets or getting this PlayStation or jersey, man, just hit the Cash App, hit the supers, hit the super stickers. We're gonna be running it until August the 1st, so you got plenty of time to get your entries in. Yeah, probably would have been his best year statistically anyway. Like Dak Prescott would have had some crazy ass numbers, right? He would have. And this is if things were unchanged. Like if the defense kept making us getting into shootouts, like Dak Prescott would have probably had like 47, 48 touchdowns, like 20 interceptions, 19, 50, 17, some crazy shit. Damn near 6,000 yards. He would have had all kind of gaudy passing numbers. He would have threw almost 50 touchdowns, man. Do you see us blitzing more or less and see how our D-line eats? The Dallas Cowboys do not blitz a lot because they generate pressure with stunts. So, because we have, individual pass rushers that can win their matchups, the Dallas Cowboys don't have to bring an extra man too often. So I think the blitz percentage is not going to change too much. It'll be the same amount of blitzing. We already want a high blitz package team anyway. Like you'll see more stunts than you will blitzes, from Dan Quinn. So let's see teams, NFL teams with highest blitz rates. All right, so let's take a look. You said Queen didn't blitz a lot in Seattle was generally. Hey, what's up with your Ed Lockhart? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Salute to you. Maka Lockhart too. Salute to y'all for sliding in. He said I had to stop by the liquor store. My boy Tyrone Church, I see you. But yeah, Dan Quinn doesn't blitz a lot anyway, man. Yeah, he's not a super blitz happy guy. I'm trying to find the exact numbers for the blitz percentage. So y'all bear with me. All right, team defense, penalty, rushing, interceptions, blase. They still ain't got what. Oh, here we go. Blitz percentage. Now, see, you look and if you look, you shall find. Okay. So the New York Giants blitzed the most last year. They had a blitz percentage of 39.7. The Dallas Cowboys were, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so the Dallas Cowboys were actually 13th in blitz percentage. So we were just about middle of the pack in terms of dialing up the blitz. So yeah, I don't expect that to go up any higher. Dallas Cowboys called up 162 blitzes. So that's a blitz rate of 25.6%. So yeah, we're not a super high blitz package team. So yeah, Michael H. That's why I feel we have just built the same defense. Besides LVE, we gotta, and you know, probably in principle, they still do a lot of things that he liked to do. But you know, Dan Quinn did change his spots. You know, he did switch some things up from when he was the defensive coordinator in Seattle. The biggest thing being the Dallas Cowboys do not really run cover three often at all. You know, he switched from a cover three to primarily cover one robber his first year. First year with Dallas, we ran the most cover one in the NFL. And then last year we did sprinkle in a lot more cover two, you know, to supplement that, just so your defensive backs don't end up on an island all the time. But you know, Dan Quinn has really been versatile with the things that he's been implementing in Dallas. So he has added new wrinkles. You know, he has added new wrinkles into overall what he wants to do as a defensive play caller. But yeah, for the most part, you know, he bring the same kind of tenacity. You know, he's still working to have a good front seven. He said, although a leopard, yeah, leopard don't change his spots, and a tiger don't change his stripes. Which is very true. I bet we run cover one a lot now that we have locked down. I think he wants to. No, I definitely think he wants to, because you know, the hint of your streams when the season start will be, man. Hey, they gonna be live, man. Y'all just make sure y'all tune in when the season starts, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Right, Michael H. We know one of them change. We know it's something. We know it's some kind of marking. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all spin the block and tune in when the season do start, man. You know, we'll do a couple watch parties. You know, we'll game plan and scout enemies teams. We'll watch them play sometimes. Hey, you will, man. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. All you got to do is start, man. All you got to do is start. Because I wasn't really sure about this podcast and stuff when I first got started either. But, you know, just been consistent, been working. And, you know, We're still growing. Also, even though we reached 1,000 subscriber mark, man, we're still trying to grow the channel, continue to push and elevate, add more inventory to the liquor store. So, you know, a friend, a family member, a cousin, hell, even an enemy. They could be an Eagles fan, a Washington Condom fan, or whatever the midgets are these days. You know, let them know about the liquor store. If they want some good Cowboy content or good football content, just tell them to stop in. Yeah, tell a friend, tell a foe to come through the door of the liquor store. Straight like that. Hey, I appreciate that. Smoke one for you. I appreciate that. So let's see. So what did we say about Trayvon Diggs and his interceptions? I know we got a little segue, in the overall conversation. So let's see. I don't believe he'll have another 11 interception season. I don't think he'll get enough opportunities thrown at him. You know what I'm saying? He was playing so much trail technique in 2021. He was inviting and baiting guys every chance that he got. Right. So I don't think he'll play similar to that. But what I do know is Trayvon Diggs has never had a season under 3 interceptions. His rookie year, he had 3. 2021, he had 11. Last year, he had 3. So I don't expect Trayvon Diggs to not get at least 3. So I'm going to tell you what. I think Trayvon Diggs is going to get 6. Hey, appreciate that, Joe. I think Trayvon Diggs is going to get 6 interceptions this year. We said we're gonna end up getting 26 interceptions, right? So Trayvon gonna get 6. I think DeRon Bland gets 4. I think DeRon Bland gets 4. Hey, shout out to my brother West Coast in the building, man. Shout out to you, big dog. Thank you for coming through and showing love to the liquor store, man. And we are just doing straight projections because you were wondering what the hell I was in here talking about. They got projections for overall defense next year in terms of sacks, interceptions, and this, that, and the third. So we're just doing projections. See if I doing our own projections. See if we agree with them. So they got the Dallas Cowboys getting 14 interceptions next year. I got the Dallas Cowboys getting 26. They had 16 last year. You can't go from 14 to 16. You can't go from 16 to 14. Lee, what's up with you, man? Salute to you for tapping in, man. You show right. I do need to get West Coast a damn wrench. Hold on. I'm gonna do that right now. That we're talking about it. All right. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna do that for you. I'm definitely gonna tag it. Hold on, I'm trying to give Cuz a wrench and it's tripping. Hold on. Add as moderator. There you go. All right, so Wes, you are now a moderator. I don't know why you ain't had a wrench, but you got a wrench now. Yeah, I don't know why the hell my cousin ain't have a wrench. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out when I get off the stream, my boy. So I got Trayvon Diggs getting 6 interceptions. Just because he's Trayvon Diggs. He leads the NFL in interceptions in 2020. We'll have an improved pass rush. Run defense should be so much better to have more opportunities to play the ball. So I think Trayvon Diggs gets 6 interceptions. DeRon Bland, I'm not sure if he can repeat getting 5. Matter of fact, I think 4 might be too much. But I'm going to give him 3 interceptions. I'm going to give him 3. So right now, I got Trayvon Diggs with 6. I got DeRon Bland with 3. So that's a total of 9. We got to get 17 more interceptions out of this defense. 17 more. Stephon Gilmore. Come on down. You will get you some easy interceptions. You will bully you a couple of number 2 wide receivers. I think you'll be second on this team in interceptions. I think you'll get about 5, my boy. I think you will get about 5. All right, Dwayne said Gilmore 4. So we're only the only difference between us is about it's one interception. Because you said 4, I said 5. So I got Trey with 6, I got Bland with 3, and I got Gilmore with 5. Right, so what's that? 14. We just need 12 more interceptions. We need 12 more. Well, this where your safeties come in at. This is where your safeties come in at. So what did Hooker have last year? So if I'm not mistaken, Malik Hooker had 3 interceptions last year. All right, so Malik had 3 picks. So I think my dog is going to get about 2. So I got Malik with 2 interceptions. Said J-Rock with 4, Is it 3, Wilson 3. That's another person I ain't account for. Donovan Wilson just about. So let me take a look at my boy Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson went crazy last year. The boy had 5 sacks. So let me see. What were the stats looking like last year for these interceptions? All right, so he had 1 interception last year. So I'm gonna give him 1 this year. So Dunno 1. So far, Trey 6, DeRon Bland 3, Gilmore 5, Malik 2, Dunno 1. I'll give Curse 1 just because he's gonna be at the right place at the right time a couple of times. Hey, Henny, you think we'll keep J. Lou or end up cutting him? I do not think that J. Lou gets cut. I think J. Lou ends up getting traded, close to the deadline when he has. He said, why you cap, bro? Why are you tripping, bro? I don't know who you are, kinfolk. What I'm tripping on, what I'm capping on, kinfolk. But no, I think J. Lou probably gets traded before he gets cut. Just because now that it's past the deadline, it doesn't matter when you get rid of him. You're going to save the same amount of money. There's no pressure on moving him right now. So, you could wait till closer to the trade deadline where there's a team desperate for a corner. So maybe one of their players went down with injury and they really need somebody. You can hold on to him, raise his market by letting him play a little bit. No, you might be able to get something for J. Lou close to the trade deadline, especially when injuries are piling up, things like that. Yeah, man, like ain't no telling. Well, hey, shout out to the Heat, man. At least, well, no. Y'all done, yeah, that's some heartache, man. That's some heartache. Yeah, so J. Lou probably gonna be around at least till mid-season if they decide to move on from him. But listen, they might just value him as a depth piece. J. Lou is your 4th corner. Is still, you still have an amazing cornerback room. J. Lou can. Hey, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. J. Lou can play. Jordan Lou can definitely play, man. And now that I know the Dallas Cowboys got, because remember, like I did say cut the dude. I said cut him before the season started because of DeRon Bland. But because the Dallas Cowboys already got $20 million they ain't spent and ain't gonna spend, right? I would rather have Jordan Lewis the player than that little money. Just flat out. Yeah, he definitely nice, man. But you know what, man? I'm gonna jump off here. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. It's been an hour and 30. On the way out, I'm gonna give y'all one last infomercial. You know, I would call this an infomercial. Just keep in mind, we're still running the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle. $10 per entry. To send the entries, you either Cash App $ Henny the more, or you can send supers or supers stickers. And the first place winner is going to get a ticket to go see the Dallas Cowboys destroy the Eagles. That ticket is going to have a seat. The second place winner is going to get a ticket for a standing room area or general admission. The third place winner is going to get a PlayStation 4 or a jersey of their liking. So if you want to participate, hit the Cash App, hit the super stickers, that and all the other good stuff. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, coming through and showing love, rocking with your boy, getting drunk in the liquor store with me on a Wednesday, right? So thank y'all. Thank y'all for the love, the support. Remember, if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, you will get half off all the items in the liquor store. And if you see one of them ugly shit-eating monsters in the middle of the road, oh, you know, skirt. Hey, appreciate you, Dwayne. Salute to you, my brother. But yeah, man, I'm out. Y'all enjoy the rest of the content going around like I am, and God bless.